Guess who's back in action? Hello everybody and welcome back to the show, and today I have a couple of very interesting movies for you to check out. First of all, we have a horror film known as House. Now this is about a ghost house, a haunted mansion as usual, but the interesting thing is that it starts off as a very serious movie, and we get more interested into the plot and what really happened in the house, because there is a mysterious history regarding a boy who disappeared in his mansion and stuff. And we get more and more interested because we believe it's going to be serious. But when shit hits the fan, it gets over the top ridiculous, kind of like Gremlins. We end up laughing instead because we get this big fat bitch of a zombie with a high-pitched voice, for example, and you can't stop laughing. It's so much fun. So it's not really scary, just very, very amusing. So the downside is that they build it up as serious and then it becomes more ridiculous towards the end. Instead, you could just have gone the whole way through and make a ridiculous movie from the beginning, because then it is really ridiculous and fun to check out. But House is still a good movie, and I was actually surprised about it. I found it very entertaining and worth watching again, and you never know what's going to happen next, so I give it 3 out of 5 stars, because this is a very good film. Up next is a more classic British comedy film, and I'm not too much for British comedies, but this one is a bit gritty and more of a heavy metal kind of film, you know. It's called Snatch, and it's directed by Guy Ritchie, and I think you guys have already seen it, but it took a long time for me to check it out. I'm not a big fan of Guy Ritchie because I did not enjoy Sherlock Holmes at all. I think it was a very bad movie. But Snatch is a comedy about a couple of people who steal this diamond, and every character, every guy is a thief or a killer or a mafia boss or something, but it's so much fun to watch with characters because they're so weird, totally off-the-wall, strange personalities. And it's one of those movies where the comedy lies more in the dialogue and the characters rather than the situations, just like The Big Lebowski. It takes something that could have been serious and puts in lots and lots of bizarre characters into the movie, and then it becomes hilarious. So the movie gets 5 out of 5 stars, because either you love it or you hate it, but I loved it. I think this was a great movie. Next up is a slasher film that many people may not heard of before, and they may wonder, is it good or is it bad? It's called Stage Fright, and takes place in this theater where people are going to do the new play about a killer. And he wears this owl mask while it goes around on the stage killing people. And unfortunately it shows up that the guy with the owl masks is dead. The real actor is dead. And instead a killer has been taking the mask instead of doing this presentation. So people are getting slaughtered for real, and it becomes very bloody. And actually the music and the feeling of the movie is very, very good. It's very 80s over it. But the slasher scenes is tremendous, and it's really top-notch. I love it. It's named to be a giallo, but I think it's more of a slasher, because we already know who the killer is, and it's not too much of a murder mystery solvent. It's more of a survival horror kind of thing. Stage Fright gets 3 out of 5 stars. It starts off slowly, but when it gets 2, it gets really, really awesome. And definitely worth to check out. One of the greatest slasher films I've seen, to be honest. Then we have a real bad film. A horror movie that me and my friends checked out, and we believed it was going to be awesome, but it was total trash. The Tall Man. And yes, I thought it was going to be trash from the start, because I just didn't look at the cover of it. But anyways, we just, imagine it was going to be an urban legend, because the plot is around a kid who gets kidnapped, and this murder urban legend sort of thing about the tall man who kidnapped kids approach. But I expected more of a Candyman movie, because Candyman is so far the greatest of all urban legends sort of films. But the Tall Man was just total trash, because it's ended up just being a sort of a thriller, and I never expected myself to see a thriller. I want to see a real horror movie. And it was just really boring. It could have worked as a very short film, but when it's a over 1 hour long film, it's very boring and nothing really happens. It never feels like it was ending. And one of my friends were asking like, what the hell is happening? This movie is, what is going on? I don't get it. It seemed like it has so many plot points that I don't really understand what the hell is going on. Tall Man get 1 out of 5 stars. It was total trash. Next is also a horror movie me and my friends saw and checked out, and actually this is more of a horror film. It's The Apparition, about a haunted mansion and mysterious things going on in there. And just like House or any other sort of haunted mansion things, we have seen it before, but whatever, it's fun to check it again. But The Apparition is not even scary or believable, because the main characters are two total uninterested couples. I mean, sort of they fit together because they have no personalities whatsoever, and we don't care about them. It's just as interesting as water, And the movie just falls into so many traps, and it's supposed to take itself so serious, but nobody gives a fuck what's going on. And it's not even that scary, to be honest. I thought it was gonna happen stuff, but nothing really happens. The only scary thing is that it's like this water damage to the house, and that's it. Awesome. The Apparition gets 1 out of 5 stars. It is also total trash. The last movie I'm gonna review today is Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, and the title may suck, but in the matter of fact, it's real freaking awesome. We have these two hillbillies out in the woods, and they just go for vacation, A couple of college kids get to that particular wood and happen to stumble upon these two hillbillies. Now, this can't be a good setting because the kids believe that the hillbillies are killers only because they are very socially awkward. Plus that one of the guys who happen to fall in love with the girls is terrible with talking to girls. He's just very stiff and weird. So anyways, Tucker and Dale is just out there chilling, and then all of a sudden a couple of college kids disappear or gets killed. And they believe, of course, that Tucker and Dale did it. While Tucker and Dale believe it's the college kids, which is part of some sort of a murderous, deadly death, sort of killing themselves off, like a suicide pact. And it becomes very hilarious. The only downside is that towards the end it becomes more of a classic horror movie climax thing. But whatever, Tucker and Dale is still worth to check out again, over and over again. You will laugh your ass off. It's a great horror comedy, and the acting is tremendous. But I have heard warnings about seeing the trailer, so don't do that, because what I've heard is supposed to spoil the entire film. Don't you hate when that happens? Anyways, Tucker and Dale gets 4 out of 5 stars, and it's definitely worth to check out, without doubt. And I'm done with this update review thing, whatever. Enjoy yourself, because next time I'm not sure what I'm gonna show, and I'm not sure when I'm gonna show it, but you guys just take care. Goodbye.